Hey guys, so it's the end of day 3 of Settlers League, and I've finished getting my last Void Stones, and I've done a tier 17 for my last map slot. But before I get more into tier 17s, I wanna get some more item upgrades, but I figured I'd do a little update video now to show where I'm at with my build setup and my gear for just finishing my Void Stones, which I mean, that's the main purpose of a League starter, I guess. So yeah, before getting more into endgame gear, I just want to go over what my character looks like, and I'll put the Maven and Uber Elder kills at the end. They were both deathless, so really easy with this build, but I do have a little bit of investment. So for the gear, I do have this Kingmaker axe. I paid 3.5 divines for the Soul Taker axe, which you can combine with Heart Seeker and a Fusing Orb to make this Kingmaker. You can save a little bit of money by doing that. So yeah, 3.5 divine axe for this Kingmaker, which I understand a lot of people want to play rare weapons this league, but this one is like 870 PDPS, and it was way cheaper than any rare axe with even close to that PDPS. You would have to like pay double. Of course, you don't get a rune smithing enchantment on this, but most people are using like Culling Strike for 200 access on their rune enchant, and this gives Culling Strike anyway to nearby allies because we're running Herald of Purity, so it essentially gives you a similar effect. Now it's kind of wasted on this build because we don't really benefit from the insufficient mana doesn't prevent your melee attacks, which is kind of the most significant part of this axe, I guess, other than just being really high DPS. Because Rage Vortex costs life anyway, but it does make it so your Leap Slam doesn't cost any mana, or you can Leap Slam even if you're out of mana, but that's not really significant. We also don't really benefit from the crit because we're using Resolute Technique, but this was still, for the price, by far the best axe I could find. So that's why I'm using Kingmaker, 3.5 divines, if you buy the Soul Taker and do the recipe. I also have a 6-link chest. I just harvest crafted this with reroll physical, like this. Reforge a rare item with random modifiers, including a physical modifier. So I did that for the chaos damage reduction, and it was like 80 chaos for the base or something like that. And yeah, it's a pretty basic craft. And then just basically life and resist, and trying to get some more chaos resist. That's probably the main upgrade I need before going into tier 17s, and a little bit more armor. Again, I did one tier 17 fortress, which was kind of iffy. I died 3 times, I think. So you can do tier 17s on this map, but you don't want to spend too much chaos rerolling. So yeah, that's the helm. These are the rings. And the amulet. The boots are pretty bad because you want to try to get as much armor as possible. So an evasion base or evasion ES is really not ideal. And these are the gloves. So yeah. And this is the Soul Tether. I want to get a good corruption on Soul Tether as well. You can get Pride Effect or All Resist. But that's pretty much the gear. Here are the flasks. And my tree is looking like this. I'm level 95, by the way. Biggest difference from like my starter tree, I guess, is I decided to take this cloth and chain to help out with the resistances and to get poison immune if you have higher evasion than armor on your helm. Oh my god, I don't even have quality on this one, I just realized. Yeah, so yeah, I've just been playing for my Void Stones, and yeah, finished that now, so gonna try for some harder content. But yeah, this is the tree, like this. Okay, so I did make a day 2 update as well, and this setup is now more like my league starter update. So I'm not using Hearty anymore. I'm just using Soul Tether for Overleech and taking these nodes. And other than that, it's pretty much the same as far as the tree goes and the gearing. But then I am now using Overexertion as well. So I'm using the Warcry setup, Intimidating Cry, Battle Mage's Cry, Rallying Cry, and Infernal Cry. Just pressing these. It's really no problem. Like you see, these last for 12 attacks. You know, so it's really no issue. Enduring Cry you just use for your endurance charges. We have a minimum power, so you can just press it anywhere. And then for Rage Sustain, I noticed some people were saying they're struggling at the start of the map, but if you just spam your Warcries, your Rage will go up from this mastery, and then you can right away send your Rage Storm. So that's pretty much what that looks like. I'll just show my gem setup. As you can see, I even have one open gem at this point, which once I 6-link this, which, yeah, I guess I'll try to do that, then you can combine some of these setups. But yeah, you have Pride, and then you have Enduring Cry, Intimidating Cry, Rallying Cry with Urgent Orders. And as long as you have a minus mana cost, it's no problem. You're never going to run out of mana, as long as you have Mana Leech somewhere, which I have on this jewel right here. And then I also have another jewel here, which I will soon replace with a Watcher's Eye. I do have a decent amount of cash, so it'll be no problem to make some upgrades. But yeah, I wanted to show what I'm looking like right now. So yeah, that's the first Warcry setup. Then we have Battle Mage's Cry with Urgent Orders and the Infernal Cry. And then you want vulnerability with Battle Mage's Cry to apply the curse. We have Leap Slam and with faster attacks, together with Molten Shell and cast damage taken in the glove setup. Again, you don't really need a life tap with these. You have enough mana to go around as long as you have the minus mana costs on 2 items. Of course, to use Leap Slam, you do need Warcries cannot be exerted by travel skills on the other ring. So then we have Blood Rage for frenzy charges, and these we have the duration mastery, so they usually last when you go into boss fights, but not on stuff like Maven or whatever. You're not gonna have frenzy charges yet. If you do want that, you're gonna have to get that on the chest. Frenzy charges every 15 seconds. That's what I'm gonna aim for later. And yeah, then we have Herald of Purity, Blood and Sand, and Frostblink. Frostblink, I tend not to use it too much, but it is good to have if you can remember to use it when it's appropriate, to actually have an instant travel skill. And then, yeah, we have Rage Vortex with Pulverize, Melee Physical, Brutality, Impale, and the Overexertion. Overexertion is just such a great gem. I had to start using it even before I got Echoes of Creation, which it is pretty cheap now. I have 20 Divine, so I can buy it, no problem. But I'll go buy that and the Watcher's Eye, and then I'll start farming T17s. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for this update for day 3. Yeah, not much else to say. If you have any questions about the build, go ahead and ask them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll put the Uber Elder and Maven fight at the end here. And if you enjoy this video, and I guess this little series about my Rage Vortex League start, feel free to subscribe. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so that would be really cool to hit. And yeah, thanks guys.